In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out to cross a remote mountain pass in the Ural Mountains. Weeks later, rescuers found their tent cut open from the inside. The hikers were gone. When their bodies were finally found, some were barefoot in the snow. Some had fatal internal injuries with no external wounds. One was missing her tongue. To this day, no one can fully explain what happened that night. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now. We cover a new unsolved historical mystery every week. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, one of the most debated unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. In late January 1959, a group of 9 experienced skiers and mountaineers, mostly students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, set out on a skiing expedition through the Ural Mountains in the Soviet Union. The trip was led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, and the group aimed to reach Otorten Mountain, a journey rated as one of the most difficult in Soviet mountaineering at the time. On February 1st, the group made camp on the slope of a mountain the local Mansi people called Holachishahel, which translates to mountain. It was the last time anyone would see them alive. When the hikers failed to check in as planned, search parties were sent out in late February. What they found was deeply unsettling. The tent was found partially collapsed and cut open from the inside, as if the hikers had fled in a desperate hurry, rather than calmly exiting through the entrance. Footprints, made by sock-clad or bare feet, led away from the tent toward the tree line. Over a kilometer away, in freezing temperatures, the first 2 bodies were found near a large cedar tree in their underwear, with evidence of a fire. The tree's branches were broken up high, suggesting one hiker had climbed it, possibly to look back at the tent or to escape something. 3 more bodies were found between the tree and the tent, appearing to have died while trying to return to camp. The final 4 were discovered months later, buried under several meters of snow in a ravine. These 4 had the most severe injuries. One was missing his eyes and tongue, and 2 others had major internal injuries, including crushed ribs and a fractured skull, but with no external wounds or bruising to indicate what caused them. The Soviet investigation at the time officially concluded the hikers died from a compelling natural force, a vague ruling that only deepened the mystery. Since then, many theories have been proposed. Theory 1. Avalanche. Some researchers believe a small, localized slab avalanche startled the hikers, forcing them to cut their way out of the tent and flee. A 2019 simulation study lent some support to this theory, though critics note the snow pattern and injuries don't perfectly match a typical avalanche. Theory 2. Infrasound. Katabatic winds. One theory suggests strong winds moving around the tent's location may have produced infrasound, a low frequency below human hearing that can cause panic, nausea, and disorientation, potentially explaining the hikers' irrational flight from the tent. Theory 3. Military testing. Some point to reports of parachute mine testing or other secret Soviet military activity in the area around that time, suggesting the hikers may have witnessed or been affected by a test gone wrong. Declassified documents have not conclusively confirmed this. Theory 4. Paradoxical undressing in advanced stages of hypothermia. The body can experience paradoxical undressing, where a person feels intense heat and removes their clothing, despite freezing temperatures. This could explain why some hikers were found in minimal clothing. None of these theories fully explain every detail, especially the severe internal injuries with no external bruising, which remains the most puzzling piece of the case. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case and, after review, officially confirmed the avalanche theory as the most likely explanation. However, many independent researchers and the victims' surviving family members remain unconvinced, pointing to inconsistencies in the snow conditions and the specific nature of the injuries. More than 65 years later, The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of history's most chilling unsolved mysteries. 9 experienced hikers, an unexplainable scene, and a mountain the locals had already named Dead Mountain long before that fateful night. What do you think really happened on Dead Mountain? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The next unsolved mystery drops next week.